Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live, and how about them Cowboys? Well, it's been about 3 decades since they last reached the NFC Championship game, as they haven't reached it since the 1995 season when they won the Super Bowl. The past 3 seasons have went 12-5, but all that has resulted in was an early exit from the postseason. Well, this year they are struggling at 3-3, even with a 500 record. They are actually being outscored by their opponents by 42 points on the year. They've been without Micah Parsons and Demarcus Lawrence, really putting a dent in their defense. Brandon Cook been hurt on offense, but where they have been struggling most on the season is the running game. Yes, running backs still matter. Shout out Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, doing things for their new teams they signed with in free agency. The Cowboys are looking for a guy who used to be seen as one of the best to perhaps help them in that aspect via Mike Florio PFT. Cowboys elevate Dalvin Cook to active roster. He has been on the practice squad since the beginning of the year, and they're going to see if he can rejuvenate a running game that has been non existent this season. The days of Emmitt Smith are long gone. Florio mentions that the Cowboys elevated Cook from the practice squad to the active roster for Sunday night's game against the 49ers. Huge game. Two teams that were expected to be contenders in the NFC, as I mentioned, Cowboys 3-3, 49ers 3-4. Um, He's more than a year and a half younger than Henry. Florio mentions had 4 straight Pro Bowl seasons from 2019 through 2022. Started last season with the Jets, played one game with the Ravens, a postseason game against the Texans, which was a blowout victory. We take a look at Cook's numbers throughout his career. Yes, there was a time with Minnesota where he was seen as one of the game's best. He is 29 years old, won't turn 30 until after the season, but we see 4 straight seasons of at least 1,135 rushing yards. Had 29 combined rushing touchdowns 2019 to 2020. It's done damage in the receiving game as well, but struggle with the Jets, and part of it you have to, understand because Zach Wilson was the quarterback for much of last season, and you know, why would they respect the passing game with him under center? So they could focus more on stopping the run, just 3.2 yards per carry. But Cook is someone who's averaged 4.6 for his career. Meanwhile, sorry, we take a look at Dallas's running game on this season. It's been brutal to say the least. We see here via their Pro Football Reference page, in their 6 games, just 463 rushing yards, so not even 80 per game. 2 touchdowns in the 6 games, just 3.5 yards per carry. All 3 stats I mentioned, dead last, dead last, dead last in the NFL. Third least rushing attempts on this season. We see the opponents are doing much better on the ground against the Cowboys. 5 times as many rushing touchdowns and nearly 400 more rushing yards. So, well more than 60 rushing yards more per game they're giving up to the opposition. So, the way Dallas's running game is going, Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott not providing much. Why not see what you have in Dalvin Cook? I can't really expect him to be his prime years with the Minnesota Vikings, but they need some type of spark in what is a huge game as they currently sit in third place. Of course, the NFC North has every team over 500. So don't win their division, it's going to be an uphill climb to win one of those wild card spots, and loss to the 49ers will put them in a huge hole. What are your thoughts? Can Dalvin Cook do anything to provide a little oomph to Dallas's running back room. We shall find out on Sunday night. Cowboys at 49ers. Huge game for both teams. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.